Hi everyone, this is Paul. I'm just going through one of our practice finals for the Computer Science 100, and I just wanted to go through some of these questions with you just as for extra practice. Remember, the exam is on December 18th. Don't sleep in. I have been having nightmares about that lately. So, one thing I wanted to say about going through practice problems and finals and practice, previous exams is that even though it's very tempting, um, don't look at the solutions immediately. For me, what I like to do is actually time myself, like get myself into the environment that I would have in an exam, under pressure, under a clock, and time myself how long it took me to do the exam, or if I could finish it within an hour or two. So what that gets you in is shows you where your knowledge is lacking, like where are you strong, where are you weak, and just gets your mind going on like how best could I study. For me, I don't have a lot of time because work and going to other classes and things like that. So for me, going through practice problems and practice finals helps me just kind of just pinpoint where I need to work on. And for me, what I've kind of learned is um, there's a lot to be said about not knowing what you know. So for these practice problems, just take a moment right now, if you haven't done this one, just to do it on your own. Like just pause the video and just go through the whole exam sincerely. Like very focused, just like you would through a normal exam, and see where you got it wrong. And if you have a lot of X's on your exam, I actually think that is a really great benefit to you because now you know what mistakes you're more likely to make on the final exam. And for me, what happens is rather than just getting it right, looking through the answer key and getting all the answers right during the first run through, what happens is for me is start, if I get something wrong first and then I correct it, it helps me learn at a greater pace. And I don't have to go back and review material as much because I've gone through the learning process of getting something wrong, correcting it, and then figuring out what I did wrong. And then for me during the exam, it's helpful or more easier to recall what that concept was because I had made that mistake. And also for me, sometimes I think psychologically, when you get something wrong, it kind of hurts your ego. Like it's easy and feels really great to get a quiz or a test that you have 100% of 100 of 100, 100% on it. But if you get something wrong, it kind of hurts your ego a little bit. And if you almost fail an exam, it hurts your ego a lot. So if you fail a practice exam, that's okay. Like nothing's gonna hurt. Like, but if you fail the real exam, that's something that's gonna affect you for a long time in your academic career. So for me, if I get something wrong on an exam, I actually feel on a practice exam rather, I actually feel really good because I know that I have a chance to learn from it, and I'm probably not going to forget it. Just like how the analogy I like to use is if you have a social problem, you have social anxiety. So you're out and about and you see someone waving at you, and then you immediately think, oh, that person's waving at me, but I don't know who they are, so you wave back at them. But what ends up happening is someone behind you is actually waving, and that person actually is not looking at you, but rather the person behind you. And you know that embarrassing feeling that you have, you never forget it. And that's kind of like thing for me, practice exams. You have this feeling that of inadequacy or failure that you didn't get all the questions right, and that emotion, that psychological, barrier or tug on your mental ego helps you learn and helps you easily recall the information later on when you really need it during the exam. Okay, enough talking about me. Let's go to the first question.